The real cost of not learning to read the senior level dynamics around you may not just be the promotion that you miss. It's also the slow drain on your energy when you know things are happening, decisions are being made, but you can't see enough into the decision logic to know where to focus your efforts. Here's what this might look like in real life. You know conversations are happening in the background, but you don't know who's weighing in, you don't know what's being said, and you don't know what evidence is being used to shape the decision. Clients are saying things like, there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I'm not privy to. And that's what that looks like. Another way this plays out is clients say to me, I am not close enough to the senior leaders to understand what they actually care about. I'm not in everyday conversation with them. You can still determine that. There's a process that we use to figure that out. But I get it. It's hard to make a meaningful contribution when you don't know what they really value. And many times, and this is part of our analysis, what they say and what they do don't necessarily line up. So it's looking at the truth underneath the truth to figure out what matters most. Another way this plays out with many of my clients is you're trying to get aligned, but the map keeps changing because things keep getting reorganized, people are coming and going, and the lines of power and authority keep changing. Many of my clients say, I don't trust politics, I'm not interested in it, and the information is contradicting itself, and it doesn't make sense, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. Okay, so here's another one. It's the decision about your career and movement forward may not sit with one supportive leader, and it usually doesn't. And there may be one person in the panel that winds up being a blocker. Who's going to throw a monkey wrench into the whole scenario? So you're praised, but you're not advanced. You're told to get more visibility, but you're not given advice that changes how the system reads you. You're asked to deliver more, but the minor things get amplified while the bigger picture of what you're contributing gets diminished. You're caught up in leadership changes, matrixed roles, panel decisions, and a bunch of different people telling you their perspective that doesn't line up. And each month without a clear read makes it that much harder to stay engaged, self-authorized, and strategic. It's not because you're losing ambition. It's because trying to advance in an unreadable system is exhausting. So the mistake most women make in trying to address this is more effort. But that's not going to work in an unreadable situation because more expert-based delivery, more proving, more visibility when you're not sure what the right thing to focus your visibility on can be counterproductive. If you're trying to solve unreadable senior dynamics by adding more effort, more networking, more generic visibility, instead of focusing on being able to first read the dynamics to then target your efforts, that's unproductive. Instead of first understanding how decisions are made and then targeting your visibility to affect how you're read in that context, right? This is not something that's solved in the expert domain. It's solved in the alignment and trust domain. You're not chucking your expertise. You're using the critical reasoning skills of your expertise to analyze what's required for the trust and alignment to work, to accept the expertise-based solutions that you're offering and to value those in the context of the business needs. Okay, so what can we do instead? We can get the catbird seat view, leadership perspective on what's going on in the business first, and then deciphering that and working backwards from that to position your work. So what's happening in the external environment? What's predicted to happen in the future? How is the business doing? What are the dynamics in the organization? How does your work line up with all that? How should you speak about your work so that it's clearly legible inside the pressures and concerns that leaders are facing and occurs to them as aligned with what they're trying to solve for? When you do the work of crafting and testing a catbird seat view and getting pretty certain about that it's on point for your organization, your work is perceived as a useful investment. It's not perceived as at cross purposes or a waste of time or energy, right? Because it's lined up with what the leader's most pressing concerns are. They see you as an investable asset, meaning it makes sense for them. They feel like they're going to get the return on investment to develop your career, to move you to the next level leadership. And they trust you because they see that you get it. I offer a free 15-minute strategic career consult. If you want to learn more about how to apply the catbird seat view in your specific organization, the link to get on my calendar, just grab it in the link in the bio.